Hi, Dav here, and today we have a new episode in the art session series. And today we're going to be doing a voiceover of this recent sketch I did. And for this one, I think for this whole batch, I just focused on like grayscale, black and white, no other like hues or colors. And it did keep my workflow kind of simple, just focusing on values, or the grays, the blacks, the whites, and everything in between. Now in the previous batch, I think I tried doing, or I used one brush for the whole batch, and the batch before that I would use one brush per sketch. Now for this batch, I think I used the same brush a couple of times, or I did switch between brushes, but sometimes I would reuse it for the next sketch. Right now you're seeing me use the flat brush. It's one of my oldest brushes, by the way, so this is like my favorite thing to use. Well, not favorite thing, because I do like using a bunch of different tools, but it's been with me for so long. But this one is kind of opaque. Again, I do recommend whatever brush you're using, always try to play or learn how pen pressure works and know how to adjust it, whether it's from the software itself, from the tablet or whatever, because it can and does affect the way you paint. And for example, if you have too much opacity or it takes too many strokes to be able to make one solid opaque kind of value, I think it's a waste of time. Especially if you're doing these types of quick sketches. Oh, by the way, I'm doing like a time-lapse version. So if you want the real-time version, it's not even that long, but it's in my membership, because I haven't been updating the sketchbook pages playlist for a while. So I decided to put it there and make the time-lapse version be the one here on the or in the art sessions series. And I apologize for the past videos, or the recent ones anyway, because I think the file was too big. The moment I started recording 10-minute sketches, it started to, because the file is big, because it's a high quality video, way better than my webcam. I'm using my my sister's old iPhone, so it's a good freaking camera in my opinion compared to my webcam. Both have 1920 by 1080, but it's not the same 1920 by 1080. So anyway, so wait, I had a point. So yeah, I created another version. It's a time-lapse version. Essentially, it's around like it's almost like just beyond 1 minute, maybe 2 minutes and a half. So it's around that range, and it helps me. Number one, it makes the file smaller, which means if I do record this, it doesn't take too much like memory space, so it's less likely to lag. So I do like this sort of thing that I'm doing right now. So yeah, when using if you're trying to create something that's hard-edged, let's say some kind of suit or a mecha, like a hard surface kind of thing, I think you need to use the appropriate brush. I mean, yeah, you can use any brush, and it depends on the artist, but I think having something that's solid as well as a brush, it just makes the process a lot easier, because you can automatically make planes, right? When you use like a flat brush and you have pen tilt on, with one stroke you can sort of create one side immediately, right? Like a flat plane instantly. And sometimes you won't even know what you're trying to do, but because of the brush you have at the moment, you sort of end up painting something that's easy to paint with the brush you have. For example, I did not think of doing this sort of, I'm not even sure what it is. Is it a guy with a helmet? Is it like a mecha head? A Gundam? Who knows? But the reason why it came about is because of the brush I used. It's like flat, it has pen tilt, it was easy to sculpt things, especially like hard surface things. It reminds me of an artist named Shinku Kim. A lot of his, he does a lot of like mecha, like robot, or like androids, robots, whatever, those types of things. And his favorite tool to use is a flat brush. That's kind of, I think he uses pen tilt, because you can tell by the brush strokes, the direction it's turned on, and it looks good. I'm not sure how long I did this actual sketch, but some sketches took about 10 minutes, some like 6, so it's still around that range. But yeah, So I think it's a great thing to do for me anyway, in my case, because I could do like longer sessions, but I think if I'm doing a longer session, maybe I ought to do that with a screen recording instead, because I'm not too comfortable with recording with an iPhone or with any kind of camera for a long period of time, just because it's, you know, my iPhone will heat up. And maybe one day if I like buy one of those like DSLR somethings, I think it would be really cool to be able to record for an hour, 2 hours, right? I know it can heat up as well, but I think it can take the damage. Yeah, I am enjoying these. To me, in a way, it's kind of like a break, even though it's kind of stressful. Because there are sketches that did not make the list, or it's not, I'm never publishing them only because it did not turn out well. But with this approach, it feels kind of freeing. Like you can just paint and move strokes around. By the way, whenever I start these sorts of sessions, I don't know what I'm doing. It's like I just follow the strokes, where I just follow what comes up. Right? Like I just follow where I'm trying to be intuitive, or I am just intuitive when I do these types of things, which is fun. I mean, you can have sessions where, you know, you bring in your references and you try to, you know, actually use them, apply them. But I think it's good to have sessions where you just like fool around, play around. And I think it, in a way, it practices, it helps practice your, like you get to practice your intuition, because if you're always using reference, that's good. You're gonna have work that looks like it was based on something, but you're not practicing the other thing, and that's being imaginative and also trying to make something look interesting, even if you don't know what you're doing. And I think whenever I'm doing these types of things, I'm always thinking of shapes, like what's the most interesting shape I could do, right? So even if it seems somewhat abstract, if I make this like a mecha, a person, an alien kind of head, an environment, a vehicle, it's gonna look somewhat good because the shapes are somewhat interesting. So I think doing these types of quick sketches where you don't really think about what you're doing, I think it's beneficial. And it's just fun, you know? Right? And oftentimes you'll be surprised with what you can create in the end. Now, the downside obviously is you won't always have nice looking sketches. Again, for me, I decided to not post some, I think out of 12, or was it 40? I'm not even sure. Only 8 sort of made it. So, you know, it's kind of disappointing, but that's kind of the process. Like you can't really ignore it. It's sort of like it comes with the program, right? Like it's a natural thing. It's more of a, it's not like a defect. It's a trait of doing this approach. Right? Because they're starting off with randomness, you sort of end up with randomness, meaning out of that bunch of sketches, maybe only a couple, maybe most, maybe less, will be useful to you. But even though I've used a couple of brushes for this whole batch, I still stuck to like one brush per sketch, and I think it helps because having to switch between different brushes, it takes time. Again, doing longer sessions, sure, but when doing these types of sketches, I think it's best to just keep it simple. And I think I did a good job, honestly, with this one. I was super proud of it. And I think I mentioned this earlier, it's good to have a bit of opaqueness, because if there's too much opacity, and it takes too many strokes to be able to make one solid opaque kind of shape or value, it's just gonna be, it's gonna take too long to do the sketch. Basically at that point, might as well paint the damn thing, right? Like fully paint it. So you want to have good pen pressure, meaning you can go super light or super like opaque with your strokes. So I guess I'm gonna leave the voiceover here. Hopefully you enjoy the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.